My name is Chad Bowman. I'm with the City of Memphis, and I'm the Aerotropolis Project Manager. To give you a brief overview of the program, the City of Memphis was awarded about $1.26 million to do a master plan for the Aerotropolis. Now, let me describe the Aerotropolis to you. The word aero means air, and tropolis, when you think of tropolis, you remember Metropolis from Superman? Well, that means city. So in essence, we're talking about Airport City. If you notice, some of the development around the airport is kind of not quite what you would typically see around the airport, like in Atlanta or LA or any other big city. Our transportation networks doesn't tie in well. You can't access the airport really well. There aren't a lot of hotels. There's not a lot of retail or commercial development, not a lot of nice multi-family housing and so forth. So as a result, we're hosting these listening tours and community meetings to get your input and gather your thoughts on what you would like to see in your community. With no further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Nate Cherry, who's the principal planner from RTKL, working on the master planning process.
The term Aerotropolis was started by a guy named Jack Casarda, and really his concept was about creating connections from the airport and different parts of the city, and really looking at the airport as the center of the city of the future. And Memphis is a unique place because it's, you know, the #1 cargo hub really in the world, certainly in North America. It's the home of FedEx, and it has all these wonderful connections to the world, and that has been a tremendous economic engine really for the entire region. But what I think the airport and its surrounding areas has not really done is create those connections between those communities and the airport. And I think that's one of our primary challenges, because really, at the end of the day, the fortunes of the communities that are around the airport and the airport itself are absolutely linked. Because although the airport might be the #2 asset of Memphis, the #1 asset of Memphis is its people and the communities in and around the Memphis region. So that's really what this planning effort's all about, is how can we create better connections between the airport, the people who surround the airport, the communities that serve the airport, and create a strong linkage between those entities. Next slide. The Aerotropolis project area is 53 square miles. It's a very large area. It's basically bound on the west by Elvis Presley Boulevard, to the south by the state line, to the east by Mendenhall, a little bit beyond Mendenhall, and then the Nankana Creek, and there's a little portion above 240 on the upper left-hand side of the site. But it's a very large site, very diverse, a lot of different site conditions and types of communities, and a lot of complexity to the challenge, but a great opportunity. And we found some basic elements that we want to start off as a sort of point of departure. First of all, traffic along Lamar is a huge issue. Some of that has to do with the fact that a lot of that is commuter traffic and the mixing of commuter traffic with cargo traffic. And so as we're thinking comprehensively about the site, there's an opportunity for us to really separate that traffic and allow the local traffic movements, people commuting, people getting from here to there, potentially use other streets, and that will really optimize Lamar as a cargo connection to the airport. Also, only 20% of the roads are used for 80% of the traffic. So if we can distribute the traffic around the site a little bit better, that will offer some great opportunities for us. The site also has only about 3% parkland, but if you really look at the buildable area of the site, there's almost 2 times that. Almost 5% of the site really should be set aside, because you can't build on that property anyway. It's FEMA land, it's flood land. With a 100-year flood, it would be underwater. And so, thinking in a positive way, we can really turn that into parks, trails, and open space amenities that everybody can enjoy. And these streams that come off of Nankana are almost like fingers that go through the site. And so they really are very beautifully, evenly distributed throughout the site, and they really offer a potential community amenity that's going to really improve everybody's quality of life. That's an opportunity. We also see there's a tremendous amount of just vacant land. 53 square miles is a huge area. So if you take 31% of that land that's just vacant, that's almost 12,000 acres, 13,000 acres. So putting that land to use is a great opportunity in the short term and long term. How we're going to do that, we might talk a little bit about tonight. We also see a decline in vacancy, though. There's more interest, especially in industrial users who want to come to the site. And in the short term, things like agribusiness might be a great opportunity to use this property in the short term. Use of renewables, plant-based biotech. These are uses that we could potentially look at in the short term that would put the land to use and also really change the perception of that underutilized land as something that's benefiting the community, benefiting the economy, and putting people to work. And then obviously this area has its issues with poverty. It's a disproportionately poor part of the city, but on the positive side, it is so close to the airport that through job training and other opportunities that bring people to the airport and really train them for jobs that are related to businesses in and around the airport, it can become a huge economic engine that the local communities can really benefit from.